This week's costume video didn't go as planned. That costume has defeated me once again and is now back in the cupboard for probably another 4 years. So instead of a build today, I'm going to do another video about Stormtrooper armour for newbies who are just getting started wearing armour like this. And as I've got to get ready for a troop in a couple of days, I got a pack, so today I'm showing you how on earth you pack and transport Stormtrooper armour. This was something I didn't really know when I first started wearing armour, was how to pack it properly to get it to fit into like one giant bag. So the first convention I went to, it ended up going in like 2 giant duffel bags on wheels. But you know, now I've got it down, so hopefully this will help you if you have no idea how to pack a suit. So in a previous video I have done a custom armour trunk that told you about certain trunks you can get to pack armour. That one was a really big, I think it was like 145 litre trunk with 4 wheels on it, and I did a custom paint job. But this is my current armour box that I use. It's a lot smaller one, really because I get lifts with my friends to events sometimes, and therefore I need to fit it in small car boots, and this is perfect. Also, with this only being a 2-wheel trunk, it means this thing isn't going to slide away from me like the other box did when I got on a train and the train pulled away and my box just kind of went zooming down the middle of the carriage and I had to chase after it. So if you're interested in one of these bad boys, this is a Wham Crate. I just got it off eBay. It's a smaller crate, but I can fit everything apart from my helmet in here. So it's a pretty decent size. And as you can see, I've pimped mine out with stickers from various events we've done and stuff from the costume group. There's something in here. I haven't actually opened it yet. What did I leave in here? Oh, something heavy. Hey, wristbands. That's fine. So first things first, I gotta take all of this off. So, got all the armour off the mannequin, it's just all laid out here. And we need to stick it in this box. When I first started trooping, I had like a big duffel bag on wheels, so I'd wrap everything up in bubble wrap to make sure it didn't get squished and broken. The truth about owning a set of armour is it does break, it will crack, it will just, things will slowly break over time. It happens, but these boxes are sturdy enough that it does keep your armor safe. You don't need to worry about wrapping it. So I always start off with the flatter items first. So there's my ab plate and my butt plate. So just put them on top of each other, they just slide in like that. Always when you're packing as well, just give your armour once over to make sure there's nothing that's too big for breakages that you won't be able to fix if you're at an event. So next up, I normally put my chest and back plate in at the same time. So I'm going to take off the shoulder strap. And here's an example of bits of armour that break really easily. Both my shoulder straps have snapped. See, this one snapped a little bit more and I haven't actually weathered the tape that's on there. This one I have weathered the tape just to make it blend in a little bit more. I have a pauldron so you don't see it, thankfully, but always keep an eye out for broken shoulder straps on your suit. But that's okay. So these just go in at the back, somewhere where they're not going to be snapped even more. And you can see there's some cracks forming in the side of my chest plate too. Again, that's quite a common area for it to crack, but just keep an eye on your suit for that as well. So that'll just go in there, and the back plate will just squeeze in. There we go, just over the top. Now we got to put the chunky stuff in here. Now this is the bit I used to struggle with back in the early days, but now, you know, it's actually really easy once you know how. So you want to grab this, which is one of your thigh pieces. This is my left one. I normally like to pack everything that's left in one go and everything that's right in one go, just so it's organised, because I'm like that. So this is the left shin one, and that will just go straight in there. Then I got this, which is my left shoulder belt and left bicep. I'm not going to worry about unclipping them from each other. All I'm going to do is just take off this strap on one side so this can move about a bit more freely. So I've got the shin in my leg, the bicep goes inside the shin, and the shoulder belt just about squeezes in inside the thigh piece. And this is my left forearm. put that in with the bicep piece. And I might as well add my thermal detonator in there too. So that's pretty much one half of your costume all packed into one leg piece. And this is the easiest way to do it. It keeps it all together. It just helps protect it as well. And that will just sit on top in there, just like that. Exactly the same with the other side. And because the leg is fatter one end and thinner on another end, I'm just going to swap this round so the fat end is now on this side, so there's a little bit more room. And that takes up pretty much the majority of the trunk, but we still got a load of room this side, which is always useful. Now, if you didn't have anything else to put in here, a helmet would probably just about go in. But we do have some other stuff to go in there, so that is why the helmet doesn't fit. Alright, next up we've got the belt. So my blaster is still in the holster, so I'm just going to take that out because it's easier to pack it all without the blaster in there. So this is my belt. This is actually a full plastic belt. If you're going for screen accurate, then you just want the front part to be plastic and you want this side to be fabric. So a lot of troopers do have the fabric belts. Personally, I just don't like the look of the fabric belts. I'm not someone who goes for screen accurate. I'm just going to go for if it looks good, then I like it. So I've kept this as a plastic belt, but again, downside of having a plastic belt, it can snap, and you can just see where I've kind of tried to hide a little bit that's snapped over here. Thankfully it doesn't notice too much because my holster kind of covers it, and I do have a little bit of Velcro that's on there to attach a speaker to, which plays some sounds, which, you know, I might bust out for this troop. I didn't think about it, but I might actually do that. So obviously if you've got a fabric belt, this will be a lot easier to pack, so you can just fold it up and just put it on the top. But because this one is plastic, it's a little bit harder, and I don't want to pack it when it's all tied up like this because it doesn't fit in there too well, and when it is together, if there is a little bit of pressure on here, it can snap the corners. So I pack it so it's a little bit more spread out. Let's put the end with the holster down the end where we've got more space, and then the other end I just tuck it back behind all this. So it does flex a little bit, but not too much. Just kind of wedge it in there till it finds the space it wants to go in. There we go. So this is what we got so far. We still got a decent gap on this side. So on that gap, I'm gonna stick my trooper boots, which are getting a little bit worse for wear at the moment. I don't have proper TK boots because they don't make TK boots in my size. And the ones that I have found on occasion in my size are ridiculously expensive because I'm a size 6. And most places do TK boots from like size 7 or 8 upwards. So for me, I struggle with it. So these are custom painted and the paint's coming off, but it goes with the whole weathered look, which is why you want to weather. Weathering is good. Also, these are comfortable as hell, so these are definitely my favourite part of this costume. Everything else hurts, but these boots are wonderful. So these boots go in that nice little gap there. Other bits you don't want to forget, these are the soft parts, but these are still important. You got the neck ring, that can just go live in there by the boots. And you got the gloves. These are Nomex flight gloves, which are a little bit too big for me because everything is a little bit too big for me in armour. They're a little bit long in the finger for me, but these are the closest ones that I could get to fit because I want the long arm so it doesn't pop out the end of the armour, which I had with the old gloves. And they're quite comfortable. And again, hand plates, depending what you're going for. Plastic ones aren't accurate, normally they're latex, but I prefer the plastic look, so they stay on there. And in they go. So for this troop, blasters are currently okay, so I get to pack my blaster. So this is just a really nice little Hasbro one that I just repainted. I haven't bothered doing any other mods to it. You can get a kit that mods these Hasbro blasters from Doopy Doos to make them look more like an original prop. This is my, what I would call my master blaster. This is my screen accurate replica of an E11. Again, this one is from Doopy Doos as well, so you can see the difference between the two. But when you've got a long troop, which this one is, we've got about 6 hours worth of trooping to do, the last thing you want is a really heavy blaster. So for short troops, I could bring this one out because again it looks good, but for longer troops I prefer going for this one. It's nice and lightweight, obviously it's just hollow plastic, and it makes pew pew noises. So, you know, you can't go wrong with that. So that can live pretty much wherever it wants. And the last armour part that I got to put in here is my pauldron, and because this is quite a thin pauldron and it's flexible, you just bung it on the top, nice and easy. And you can see we've still got some space on this side, so if you need to take extra water bottles, snacks, anything like that with you, you can. But as I said before, I would recommend something you can repair your kit with. Stormtroopers go all out and bring like a load of glue and Velcro and stuff, but I just like to make sure I have a very trusty roll of duct tape with me, and I normally have white duct tape just in case something on my armour breaks, because it's going to blend in a lot more. But if you have white or black duct tape, you can use both. So in that goes. So now it's all packed away nice and safe. You just put the lid on. Now a lot of these trunks normally do come with like little holes just down the side here where you can padlock them if need be. But this thing never really leaves my side, so I'm normally okay without it. Also, as a recommendation for trunks like this that have got wheels at the back, if you're going on a long train ride and you'll be dragging it around a lot, same as I did with my other one, I would normally recommend putting in a strap. So I got a little strap on the front here because there's two bits of plastic that stick out. All I did was I got my Dremel, cut the little slits in the side, put a bit of webbing in there, glued the webbing together, so now I've got a little strap, so it just makes it easier to carry. And now we've got our poor lonely helmet. So what I have is just one of these, which is a plain motorcycle helmet bag. So that just goes on over the top, tighten it up, and it's fairly well protected. If you've got like a really expensive helmet, something you don't want to get scratched, if you look online you can find people that do custom make helmet bags. If this was something like a Captain Phasma helmet, or a helmet that was like ludicrously expensive on its own, then I would probably go for those, because those are bags with a lot more padding on them. So when I'm wandering around, I normally either carry this on my shoulder or just wrap it around my hand, so when I'm carrying the trunk by the handle, it just means I'm holding onto both and I can make sure no one runs away with them. So that is how to pack Stormtrooper armour for those who are just setting out on their trooping journeys and maybe are unsure of how to actually pack a full suit of armour to be able to travel with it. Sorry about the lack of build video this week. Unfortunately, sometimes things just go wrong and you just gotta work your way around it. But if you do enjoy the videos that I do on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. So we've got a couple of people already, and one of the perks is you can get your name put at the end of the video, so there you go. That's the one patron who's on this at the moment. But if there's more of you, there'll be more on this section right here. But as always, thank you very much for supporting the channel and watching the videos, and I hope you enjoy. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video, and if you want to see anything that we're sort of doing for troops like this, then come follow me on my social media, or you can follow the Imperial Outlanders UK Instagram to keep an eye out on what we're going to be doing for the troop, which is coming up this weekend. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, may the Force be with you.